Hey, my name's Civic Life students. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video. I'm not really sure. It's evening for me because my boys are in bed and I just got my dishes done. The dishwasher is running and it's time for me to get some stuff done before I go to bed. So we are going to review that checking simulation that you did last week. So you should have followed along with the video to do the first couple steps. And then you should have attempted the rest of situation A and B prior to watching this video. So what this video is going to be about it's going to be me showing you how to go through the rest of the situation. You should have done this already. So this should be almost like you and I going through your work together. So I'm going to show you each step. If you should have, and you need your green book to go through this, we are on page 18, and this is where you wrote the checks, and you also need, if you chose to do it on this separate sheet of paper as your check register, you're going to follow along with this as well. So make sure that you check your work. At the end of this lesson, there is going to be a quiz that's going to ask you about this specific situation A. And if you didn't watch this video or you don't have it accurately done, you're not going to do so great in this quiz. So please make sure that you watch this video so that you can get all the right answers on your situation A, and then you can get an A on that quiz because you followed along with my video. So let's get started. All right, so let's jump in here where we left off. Just to review, last week, my demonstration, I went through these first steps with you. We ended up writing 2 checks initially, and I showed you how to do that already. And then we filled out 4 lines of our check register. Our balance is currently $1,021.91. So as you follow along with this review activity, make sure that you're following along up to this point. You should have it all completed, but in the event that you didn't do that, you can still get points by completing it as I go through it right now. If you did complete it, check your work, pause, fix your work if needed, so that you have access to the correct answers, because at the end of this lesson, there is going to be a quiz on what the correct answers should be based on the video that I'm showing you right now. So the next step that we have going on here is writing a check 128 payable to Shelter Realty Company for our rent payment, which is due on June 1st. Now, we are still currently on May 20th. So that is what you want to write this check for to your landlord. So let's take a look down here at check 128, and we're going to write it to Shelter Realty Company. We have to pay them $465 for our rent, $465.00, $465 and 0 above 100. I like to put my rent, maybe it's for your apartment, and so you want to note that there, give a little signature, and then the date, of course, is 5/20 of 20. So now we can come over and we can check that bill off, but don't forget this because we need to add that there. We didn't do that yet. So now let's go over to our check register. We wrote check 128 on 5/20 to Shelter Realty, and it was our apartment rent. Now, because it was a payment, we want to come to the payment column, which is right here, 465 and 00. Let me grab my calculator here. You can follow along. So our original balance was $1,021.91, and we're going to subtract the 465. So that should be giving you $556.91. So now we have, today is May 24th, so we have a new date to follow here. We supplement our income by helping Pat Schwartz paint houses. At this point, it doesn't tell us how much you paid us. So let's continue on and see what the next task in our simulation is. So we are going to write a check 129 for the amount of $11.10 payable to Nicholas Hardware for a new paintbrush. So maybe we had to go get ourselves a paintbrush so that we can help this guy paint. So we are going to write a check on Nicholas Hardware for $11.10. The date is the 24th. So you want to make sure you make that notation up here in the date area. $11 and we have 10 cents over the dollar. So make sure you write that. I like to write what it's for, paintbrush, and give a signature there. Now we got to go over to our check register and make a notation that shows that we made that check. So in the name or number code column, you're going to write check number 129. Today is the 24th of May. We wrote it to Nicholas Hardware. And we bought a paintbrush. Every time you make a transaction, you need to fill out a column when you do it, because if you don't do it in the moment, then you forget about it later. So make sure that anytime you make a payment, debit card, you take out cash out of the ATM, anything like that, that you put it into your check register immediately. So this is a payment for $11.10. And then we're going to come over our calculator. I left that amount in there. I'm going to subtract $11.10. That is going to give me now a balance of $545. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. And 81 cents. All right, now in the simulation, it is going to tell us now we did that check. Now on May 27th, this is our new date. Pat Schwartz pays you $80 for our painting. So we are going to come over and log that. And what we want to make note of is a deposit. And when we write a deposit in here, we're going to deposit the check that this guy gives us. And we want to make sure that we put it in the right column. All deposits go into this right-hand column of this area here. So we are now at May 27th. So make sure you change your date. You can write Pat Schwartz painting payment to me, so that you know that it came into you and you write in the correct spot. It was for $80 even, and so we are going to now add that. Make sure that you add it, don't subtract it. $80, and now we have $625.81. Right below where we paid Pat Schwartz, Pat Schwartz paid us, it says that we need to endorse the back of the check. So you want to make sure that you fill out the deposit ticket, because you're going to take it to the bank and deposit it for them to put it into your account. We need to make sure that we did record it in our check register. We already did that. But now we need to come over and we need to endorse our check and write out a deposit ticket. So we want to put today's date. We'll assume that we are going to cash it immediately that day. This line is only if you're getting cash back, which we are not. We are depositing it into our account. We got a check from him for a painting, and it was for $80. And our total deposit is also $80, and the net deposit is $80. Now, if you received cash, less cash received, so I'm sorry, this goes up here. Sorry about that. If you received cash, you would make a notation there, and then the bank would give you the amount that you're requesting to get cash back from a check. But we are just depositing all of this into our account. And then you want to endorse it over here. If you want to rate for deposit only, and then you need to write your account number on that as well. All right. That is taken care of. So we did that one right here. Now, today is May 29th. We have a new date to write down. You find out that you were out of almost everything. Time to go shopping. Don't forget about your student loan. So now we are going shopping. We're going to write check number 130, payable to Thrift Mart for $19.25 for household supplies. So let's take a look over here. We need to write a check, which check number 130 is going to be up here. We are paying it to Thrift Mart. and we are paying it in the amount of $19.25. Make sure you write it out. 19, if I could spell correctly, $25 over 100. Give it a little signature there. Household supplies. And then give it a date. We found out that that date is May 29th, 5/29/2020. Now, we cannot forget, of course, to put it in our check register immediately when we do that. So since this was check 129 and it was May 29th, we want to write that here, Thrift Mart. Oh, 2 R's, only 1 R. Sorry there. And we did $19.25. Take your calculator. This was our old balance here. And we're going to subtract $19.25. And now we're going to have $606.56. All right. We are continuing our shopping here. And we are headed off. Well, let's check that off. We already did that. We are going for groceries at Good and Fresh Foods. However, it says that we are using our debit card. So we are not writing a check for this. We are using our debit card, which is very convenient because you just swipe it and it comes right out of your account. We are using a debit card transaction for $62.60. So we need to make sure that we record that in our check register. Anytime you go to the ATM, anytime you use a debit card, make sure that you record it over here because that detracts from your checking account. So need to keep track of that. So for the code, if you look up here, it's going to tell you that your code for a debit card transaction should be DC. And so we're going to come down here. We're going to write DC. And since today was still May 29th, it was Good and Fresh Foods. And we spent $62.60. So let's run the math on that. This is our original balance right here, which is shown over here as well. So minus $62.60, and that's going to give us a new balance of $543.96. All right. Last thing that we are going to do is we have a reoccurring automatic payment. So this is automatically coming out of our checking account. So it's good because you don't have to worry about paying it. However, you have to make sure that when you have automatic payments, you have enough money in your account to cover that. So being that that is a high amount there, you need to make sure that you have that amount in there, and we do, luckily. But we do need to record this in our check register. So we have an automatic payment for Student Lending Corp. for your student loan. It's going to come out today, and since today is May 29th, we want to make that notation. We're going to record $225 in your register for this automatic payment. Now, when you go up here, you're going to see that the automatic payment code is going to be AP. So we're going to come down here. We're going to put AP for our automatic payment. Today is the 29th, and our loan company is Student Lending Corporation, and you can just put student loan. Oh, this was household supplies. I forgot that for Thrift Mart. And the Good and Fresh Foods is groceries. So I like to do the white line for who I wrote it for, and then the gray line for what the purpose was. They give you 2 lines there for that purpose. So since we have an amount of $225 even, we're going to subtract that, and we are going to take our original balance, which is right here, minus $225. That's going to give us an amount at the end of situation A of $318.96. We are not done yet because we are going to be moving on to situation B, which is on the next page here. You should have done this as one of your lessons last week. So you should have worked yourself through all of this. In the next video, I'm going to show you what this all should look like and how this affects your check register, because this is not the final balance at the end of this, because we need to take some time to reconcile our checking, our check register with our statement. So stay tuned, click on the next video to find out how to do that.